Let's talk about a mindset that's so common in nonprofit spaces. It often flies under the radar. It shows up in backroom conversations, in donation bins, in program design, and in quiet moments when we're just trying to stretch what we have. It rarely gets named directly, but it shapes everything from our resource closets to our relationships with the communities we serve. I'm talking about the it's better than nothing myth. You've probably heard it in passing. It's a little worn, but it could still be useful. It's not perfect, but hey, it's free. They should be grateful. This is more than they had before. If you've worked in or around nonprofits for any length of time, you've heard these words. You may have even said them. I know I have. Not from a place of harm, but from a place of trying to make things work, of wanting to offer something rather than nothing. But here's what nonprofit professionals learn, sometimes the hard way. Not all donations are helpful, and not everything free is free of cost. This myth doesn't always come from malice. Often, it comes from exhaustion, from limited budgets, from grant restrictions, from being short staffed and overcommitted and desperate to meet a growing need. It's a survival response in a system that constantly asks us to do more with less. But here's the problem. When better than nothing becomes the norm, it quietly chips away at dignity for the people we serve and the people doing the work. It becomes a way of lowering expectations so we don't have to feel the discomfort of not having enough. But the cost of that comfort is paid by the person on the receiving end. The young person who walks in hoping for a warm coat but finds only a pile of tattered jackets. The mom who picks up food for her kids only to realize half of it is expired. The survivor who walks into a space that says "You matter" on the wall, but is handed someone else's discarded makeup and shoes that don't fit. This myth has been so normalized that it's now baked into many of our operations. We design entire programs around leftovers. We fill closets with whatever's donated. We accept items with just a small tear or a little dust and convince ourselves that someone will be glad to have it. We package this experience as support, and we ask staff to deliver it with a smile. But let's be honest, being the one who has to hand over something you know isn't good enough, that's hard. You're standing there trying to offer help while also carrying the weight of knowing it's not what you'd want for yourself or your loved ones. And on the other side of that exchange is someone who can feel it. They may smile, they may say thank you, but they also feel the unspoken message. Don't ask for too much. Take what you get. You should just be grateful we had anything at all. Over time, those moments build up. Psychologists sometimes call this accumulated micro-shame. Small, repeated experiences that slowly erode a person's sense of worth. It teaches people to settle, to accept less, to feel like expecting dignity is somehow asking too much. And this affects our teams too. Staff begin to feel disconnected from the mission. Morale drops, burnout rises. All of this is happening in organizations that claim to be rooted in compassion, equity, and care. So let's talk about what dignity-centered giving really means, because this isn't about having the perfect item or a brand new donation. This is about intention. Dignity shows up in details: clean socks, non-expired food, hygiene items that haven't been used, a table that doesn't wobble, clothing that's in good shape and in the right size range. Even if we can't offer everything, what we do offer should reflect our values. And if you're in leadership, this is where your role matters. Set the tone. Create policies that guide donation acceptance. Build relationships with donors based on shared values, not desperation. And most importantly, back up your staff when they say, This doesn't meet our standard because when you support those boundaries, you're not being picky. You're protecting your team and the people you serve. And for donors, we need you, truly, but we need you to partner with us in a way that's mindful. If you're cleaning out your closet or your pantry, pause before you load up your car. Ask yourself, would I feel okay receiving this? If the answer is no, don't donate it. That doesn't make you a bad person, it makes you a thoughtful one. Instead, reach out, ask what's needed. Consider giving in a way that allows organizations to fill the gaps intentionally, whether that's through gift cards, funding, or specific high quality items. Because donating should be about meeting needs, not just moving things out of your garage. And to all of us who've said it's better than nothing, let's be honest, we've all been there. But it's time to move forward, to shift from charity to justice, to stop assuming that those in crisis should be grateful for scraps. Because at its core, this myth isn't just about donations, it's about how we assign value, what we think people deserve, and how comfortable we become with offering others less than we'd accept for ourselves. So let's change that. Let's stop handing over what's left. Let's start leading with what people are worth. If this resonates with you, if you've had to navigate these moments as a staff member, a leader, or a donor, I'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment, share this video, subscribe if you want more honest conversations like this one, because the people we serve don't need pity, they need dignity, and we're the ones who can make sure they get it.